The ruins of Rome stand as silent sentinels, a stark reminder of a once mighty empire that crumbled into dust. Broken columns and crumbling arches whisper tales of power, opulence, and a descent into chaos that ultimately led to its demise. Today, as we look upon these remnants of a glorious past, we can't help but wonder, could America, the modern world's dominant superpower, be traveling a similar path? Are we witnessing in real time the slow and agonizing decline of another empire? History, it is often said, repeats itself. While the cyclical view of history can be debated, there are undeniable parallels between the decline of the Roman Empire and the challenges facing contemporary America. The echoes of Rome's downfall reverberate through the corridors of time, offering a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition, institutional decay, and the fragility of democratic values. The Roman Republic, like the United States, prided itself on its commitment to democracy, individual liberty, and the rule of law. Yet over centuries, the Roman Republic transformed into an empire ruled by emperors, its democratic principles eroded by corruption, political violence, and the rise of authoritarianism. This essay will explore the striking similarities between the decline of the Roman Empire and present-day America. By examining the historical forces that led to Rome's fall, we can gain a deeper understanding of the challenges facing our own nation and the urgent need to safeguard the democratic principles upon which it was founded. Nero Claudius Caesar, Augustus Germanicus, the fifth Roman emperor, ascended to power in 54 AD. While his reign began with promise, it soon descended into a maelstrom of tyranny, extravagance, and cruelty. Nero's reign serves as a chilling reminder that power, when concentrated in the hands of a single individual and unchecked by democratic institutions, can corrupt even the most well-intentioned leader. Nero's insatiable appetite for luxury and his utter disregard for the suffering of his people became legendary. He indulged in lavish banquets while Rome burned, allegedly fiddling as the city went up in flames. While the extent of his involvement in the Great Fire of Rome remains a subject of debate among historians, Nero used the disaster as an opportunity to seize more power, blaming the fire on the nascent Christian community and launching a brutal persecution against them. In the annals of history, Nero stands as the archetype of the tyrannical ruler, a cautionary tale of the dangers of unchecked power and the erosion of democratic norms. His reign serves as a stark reminder that even the most robust democracies are not immune to the allure of authoritarianism, especially when fueled by fear, division, and a charismatic leader who promises to restore order amidst chaos. The parallels between Nero's rule and the rise of authoritarian leaders in the modern era are both striking and deeply concerning. Like Nero, these leaders often exploit societal divisions, demonize their opponents, and undermine democratic institutions to consolidate their grip on power. They appeal to the basest instincts of their followers, stoking fear and resentment to create a climate of distrust and intolerance. Throughout history, aspiring autocrats have employed a remarkably consistent playbook to dismantle democratic institutions and seize absolute power. This playbook relies on a potent cocktail of propaganda, fear-mongering, and the scapegoating of marginalized groups to sow division and undermine the very foundations of a democratic society. One of the oldest tricks in the authoritarian handbook is the art of scapegoating. By identifying a common enemy and blaming them for society's ills, autocrats can deflect criticism, consolidate their power, and create a climate of fear and suspicion that silences dissent. The Roman Empire, during its decline, witnessed the scapegoating of various groups, including Christians, barbarians, and internal political rivals, all accused of undermining the empire's greatness. Another hallmark of authoritarian regimes is the systematic distortion and manipulation of information. By controlling the narrative and suppressing dissenting voices, autocrats can shape public opinion and maintain their grip on power. In ancient Rome, emperors like Nero and Caligula used their control over the state-sanctioned media to spread propaganda, glorify their achievements, and discredit their opponents. Today, in the digital age, the spread of misinformation and disinformation has become even more pervasive and insidious. Social media platforms, while offering unprecedented opportunities for communication and information sharing, have also become breeding grounds for propaganda, conspiracy theories, and hate speech, all of which can be weaponized to undermine democratic norms and institutions. Democracy, as history has repeatedly shown, is a fragile and precious thing. It is not a destination but an ongoing journey, a constant struggle to uphold the principles of freedom, equality, and the rule of law. The erosion of democracy is rarely a sudden or violent affair. More often than not, it is a gradual and insidious process, a slow fade from vibrant republic to autocrat's playground. One of the most concerning aspects of democratic decline is that it often occurs with the tacit consent or even the active support of the very people it purports to protect. Citizens, disillusioned by political gridlock, economic inequality, or perceived threats to their way of life, may be tempted to embrace authoritarian solutions, believing that a strong leader who promises order and stability is preferable to the messy compromises inherent in a democratic system. The Roman Republic, for example, did not transform into an empire overnight. It was a gradual process, spanning centuries, in which the institutions of the Republic were slowly weakened and undermined by a combination of factors, including political corruption, economic inequality, and constant warfare. As the Roman Republic expanded its territory and influence, its political system, designed for a small city-state, struggled to cope with the demands of governing a vast empire. The rise of Julius Caesar, a charismatic general who exploited popular discontent and skillfully manipulated the political system to amass power, marked a turning point in Roman history. Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, far from saving the Republic, ushered in an era of civil war and instability that ultimately paved the way for the establishment of the Roman Empire under his adopted son Augustus. In the midst of progress and prosperity, internal strife began to surface. The seeds of discontent were sown, and the unity that once held strong started to waver. Disagreements over policies, leadership, and direction led to factions within the community. People who once worked together now found themselves at odds, questioning each other's motives and decisions. It was a time of uncertainty, and the future seemed, well, more unpredictable than ever before. In ancient Rome, the collapse of institutions was a slow and insidious process. Corruption seeped into the very fabric of governance, eroding trust and efficiency. Fast forward to modern America, and we see echoes of this institutional decay. Political polarization, economic disparity, and social unrest are symptoms of deeper systemic issues. The question is, are we witnessing history repeating itself, or can we learn from Rome's downfall? Initially, the Romans were in denial about their empire's decline. They believed their civilization was invincible. However, as the cracks widened, desperation set in. Similarly, in America, there has been a reluctance to acknowledge the signs of decline. But as challenges mount, from economic instability to social upheaval, the urgency to act becomes undeniable. Will we continue to deny the inevitable, or will we take decisive steps to change our course? The fate of Rome serves as a cautionary tale. Yet America has the unique advantage of hindsight. By recognizing the parallels and addressing our vulnerabilities, we have the potential to alter our trajectory. It's not too late to implement reforms, foster unity, and strengthen our institutions. The future is not set in stone. It is shaped by our actions today. Can we escape Rome's fate? Only time will tell. Now, more than ever, is a time for vigilance. The lessons of history urge us to remain watchful and proactive. We must hold our leaders accountable, demand transparency, and work collectively towards a more resilient society. The stakes are high, but so is our capacity for change. In the end, it's not just about avoiding collapse. It's about building a future where prosperity and justice prevail.